Right, back we go. Another video. It is August 21st, Sunday, 4:16 Eastern Standard Time, East Coast. All right, check him out. The SPY here. I haven't done a video on the SPY in probably a few months. Let's look at the SPY as far as we can see right here. The COVID high. Look at that. Let's go back to 2021 early or 2020. Excuse me. Time's flying. We're going up, and then everything is going good. People are like, oh, the market, it's getting too high. But little did we know COVID would hit. Look at that, right down on the SPY. Where did we hit here? 218.26. Look at this. Some small pullbacks. This one was a little bigger. And then we took off all the way to 480. Incredible. What was the high up here? 479.98. So pretty much 480. Look at that run. So you have 2020, 2021, and then that was it. And then all hell broke loose with the war in Ukraine, inflation, supply chain problems. So you have gas prices now, food, still very high. Commodities were high. They're pulling back, oil, all that stuff at this point. So let's look at the chart though. The funny thing is technical analysis too. I was watching CNBC. The lady's like, I don't know that much about technical analysis, but she's like talking fundamentals. You have to know technical analysis and stock trading, and like it doesn't make sense. They don't even know what they're talking about. They're just trying to get sales, their business, whatever, and their brokerage firms they work for. But you got to know technical analysis, and it's not that hard once you study it and understand patterns. This right now is a broadening wedge, or people refer to a broadening megaphone. So you can see the space here. It's a decent space. We get to the high, and then we drop the war in Ukraine, and we drop down to this candle here, that wick, 420.76. Nice little bounce. Didn't hold. We came down again to another low. So it was January, February, March, and then we had a real strong bounce of, let's see, 415 all the way to 460-ish. What was the high on that cross here? 462.07. We came back again, really big drop, April, May, then a smaller bounce here into June. Then this was a nice waterfall move. Right here, gap, another gap, and then we finally hit this low in June, 362.17. Anytime you have a waterfall move down, pretty much you can wait for a bounce. You're not sure how high it'll be, but you will bounce it. After this back and forth, look at this June, you can expect a bounce. And we did. You didn't know how high it's going to go. Once we chopped around here, see this got to 390, back and forth. Got over this 390 level eventually in July, and we took off. And right now, what you have here is a rising wedge. The rising wedge is bearish, and because it's rising from the bottom, you made such an extreme move in the short term. It's going to be bearish at this point. You can see stochastics, excuse me, very overbought. It stayed overbought pretty much. July we made the move, then we pulled back, and then the 18th all the way through. Look at that, staying above 80. Remember, 80 above 80 is overbought, below 20 is oversold. And that's where he stayed a while. Now look at the chart overall. See this back and forth point. So here sell, buy again here, sell, buy. Probably a sell here you can put in. Buy, maybe a sell here and got back in on this chop. Your stop was 370 on the SPY, and it took off to 430-ish. What's the high in this? 431.73. But what you notice here, look at the high, lower. From here, lower, and the lows are lower. Now, going into this week, this will be interesting. So this is a major trend line. Now, are we going to start going lower here? Right here, that Friday candle is very important. Looks like we're going to start going lower now. We've already crossed pretty far down from that break up of above 80 on stochastic. So we'll see what happens here. Do I think we're going back to the June low? Possibly. I don't know if it's a straight line back down. but I think we could get back to the 390-ish, 380, 390. I would look for a move down there. That's going to be, immediate target 400. This 420, 400 to 410. That'll be immediate, very short-term target. And then 380, 390 will be the target, the main target. Then you'll see if the market's just not showing anything here and we're like bouncing back and forth, going down, down, and we'll see if that June low will be tested again on the SPY. So you can see a long range in this. Look at that move up. That was tremendous gains, zero interest rates. A lot of the stocks, remember EV stocks, SPACs, all that garbage, it's all speculation. And they were pretty much, $1, $2. It went to 100. Came like this, came back down to 2. It's like total pyramid, front side, back side. So you can see this wedge here, back and forth, as you see further out on the screen here. We're going to go back down here, another like total angle move where you have here and just go straight back down. We'll see how this plays out. There'll probably be some bounces along the way. The weekly, you can see the weekly SPY went straight up, came back down, and you can see here that's a shooting star candle at the top of a pattern that is bearish, and you're starting to try to turn. See this straight up line stochastics, and you're turning sort of sideways. So we could chop here a little bit and then go back down. You're getting overbought weekly. Monthly. The monthly is a crossover, which is very bullish. See this space here? Once white gets over red, that is bullish. So you're falling downward at this point, but you crossed over. Now, is it going to make a move like this and then come back down further and test that 20 oversold level? It's possible. You can see in the monthly, this is the worst drop since the 2000.com tech bubble, 2008 housing crisis, where it went to pretty much 20 stochastics, a little below, and then financial crisis was about a 991. What was the actual low? If I can get it here. Stochastics were 9.02. That's extremely oversold. Now we're going to come here, come back down, test that. We'll see. The 13's over to 20 EMA, which is still bullish. If you look back here, you eventually went bearish at 20 EMA over 13 EMA. So that was eventually turned bearish for a few years. And it did cross over in 2008. Now we haven't crossed over yet. So this is not, people were in a bear market. It is technically, people are back and forth on that. But the 13 EMA is still over that. You can drop far down. See COVID? You went way below here on that wick, which was 218, but the market was still bearish. It was like a flash crash a month, COVID, they just washed out the system there, but you're still bearish. And look at, still bullish, 2018, 2019. When this 13 is over to 20 EMA, that is bullish. You keep things simple in stock trading. So even though it went that far low, at that point, it was still bullish. People panic and sell. But that wasn't a market, crash as far as financial crisis or .com tech bubble. And then we went up. Look at this. It went up. And now we're at, see, we're going in a downtrend, but, 13 May's flat now. It's going sideways. Now, is it going to turn over and roll over? That would be bearish eventually. If you have a monthly where the 20 EMA crosses over 13 EMA, that'll be bearish. So it remains to be seen. If the next, where are we at here? August. The rest of this year will determine, are we going to come back, go further down, or bounce? Maybe like chop around and eventually go up in the next year. We'll see what happens here. I originally liked 300 to 320 in the SPY. It's not looking like it right now, but we'll see what happens here. And the quarterly, look at the quarterly. So this is clear. I put a little channel here down, tech bubble, financial crisis, all red candles. Now the quarterly in this, ever since that move in 2009, you've had 1, 2, back and forth, 2 in 2015. You had 1 each of like 2018, well, the end of 2018, 2019, 2020. And look at this, you had 2 this year. And then you have a big green candle in the quarterly right now. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. As far as the next move, this trend line is very big. It looks like we're going back down. So, targets 400, 410, 380, 390 we'll call mid-level targets. And then from there, we'll see what happens. If we go even further down, then we'll test that June, July low. Well, actually June, but 370 you hit in July. So you can see here the technical analysis of the charts. The charts don't lie. They tell you where you're at, and the trend lines are very important. They tell you your next moves, possibly, and nothing's a guarantee. You can overshoot trend lines. Like when we were here on this move and we put a trend line right here, and you started to bounce above that, you broke above that trend line all the way from, you could say, March. And then we went up, and that was the furthest one. And this has to form too. When you're back here in January, February, you don't have the trend line form that much yet. You can start drawing them, but you don't know exactly what the market's doing. So it takes a little, a few months, and then you can see a pattern just like this in the market. From the COVID low, just draw it straight up, as you were going. Well, this was tighter. This was like this. And then, you're very straight line up, very tight. The biggest move on that was September, October, November. And then in 2021, you had, the October, September, October, nice pullback, and then we went up. So there you have it. I think we're going lower. How much lower, like I said, remains to be seen. So put this back in here, but looking for, we'll go to 400, 410 first, 380 to 390 second, and then we'll see where we're at on that. We'll see what news comes out too. Anytime like a trend line's hit, that's why Friday bad news came out. Recession fears. I'm just reading Bloomberg. Jackson Hole's this coming week inflation. What to know this week? That was Yahoo. So there we have it. And this move has been now, we're what, December, early January, you call it. We're in 8 months of a downtrend. And a broadening wedge means more volatility. See the volatility of the moves here, big moves. They're not big moves, intraday, they don't have to be the biggest moves, but overall, you're looking at monthly. Look at this, monthly moves down, up, down. Look at that for months. And we went straight up pretty much in June, July, August right now. So there you have it for the SPY. We'll see how this plays out. Where are we at? August 21st. So I guess, going into September. So the next month into September 21st, we'll see how this plays out for the SPY. All right, that's it. Please subscribe to Mike Kamen Trade Alerts on YouTube. Smash the like button. Check out any links below. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all them good things. Peace.